Put a little bit of the rub, nigga, I gotta be safe.
Let's get to the sports talk.
The Patriots got a wake-up call last night. We had been talking about it all year. And I never bought into this notion that they were historically a great defense. I said, Skip, they haven't really been playing anyone. The Jets and Miami and Washington. And if you look at the teams that they're playing, they aren't very good. The quarterbacks are even less good than the teams that they actually play for. I said, that's going to be very interesting to see when they start playing teams that are better offensive, and the quarterbacks are better. And this is what happens. I had a front row seat to one of the historically great defenses. And there will come a time in which the defense will struggle. And then the offense needs to carry the weight. We played Jacksonville, I think the second game of the season, Skip, and we won 39-36. Defense just didn't have it that day. We were able, Tony Banks was offensive player of the week, threw for 5 touchdowns, no turnovers, and we won the game. And what I've told you before, this offense right now has just been riding. They have a like I had when I was on the Ravens team. They've been riding. They haven't been carrying their weight, and you saw that front and center last night. The Ravens go out 7-0. Tom Brady gets the ball, bloop, bloop, 3 and out. Go around again, 14-0. Tom Brady, 3 and out. The Ravens had 17 points. The Patriots had 3 punts and a first down. Now, I'm trying to figure out, now somehow, I got a feeling this is going to come back on Coach Belichick's defense. But I just want to know, when the Ravens scored 7 points and they kicked the ball to Tom Brady, what was he doing? What did he do? He did absolutely nothing. Oh. No, it's not your turn just yet, Skip. I just got started. I'm 2 minutes in.
Well, you're just a chef. What do you know?
He is so much more.
Look, they came to my restaurant last night. You should be glad I opened up for them. Normally I send them away, but I was.
Your restaurant went out of business a long time ago.
We're back in business.
Yeah. You picked lots of losers.
We were in renovation, Skip. Yeah. We had to get some renovations. Look, Skip, I'm shocked that the Ravens' bread and butter, the way, and Coach Belichick, Skip, he's built his backbone, he's built his reputation. What do you do best? I'm taking it away, and if you beat me with plan B, I can live with that, but plan A is obsolete. Skip, the Ravens got what they want running the football. They had the ball over 37 minutes to 22 minutes for the Patriots. That's unheard of. The Ravens had 2 possessions.
It ain't just Lamar. You got to worry about Ingram. You got to worry about the other running backs and Lamar. You got a game plan for all 3 of them. Especially Ingram, going on with Lamar Jackson. You had to plan for that. You can't just worry about, oh, we got to stop Lamar. When you got Ingram in the backfield that can give you about 30 yards every carry. Then Lamar Jackson come right behind that and give you about like 30 more. You can't just focus on one guy. They have a good run game. You don't know which one is getting the football. Is Lamar going to keep it or he going to hand it off? They had New England defense confused last night because they didn't know which one was getting the football. Everyone was thinking they were going to stop Lamar for doing what he's doing. No, they have a good run game, especially with a dynamic quarterback that can do it all. He's showing y'all. People doubted him. Said he can't play quarterback. They said he should switch over to wide receiver. And he's showing you, I could play quarterback. And he got a coach that played his way. A coach that put a system, fits him. That's why he having success so far. That's what you have to do to make your quarterback comfortable in this league. Do something that fit him. Get the players around him that fit him. And Mark Ingram fit him. And you had to worry about that last night. And they had the defense on the ropes on the New England side.
Then the second half, 2 Skip, and they had the ball for almost 18 minutes. An 8.5-minute drive, a 9.5-minute drive, and a kneel down at the end of the game. And the Patriots could not do anything with them. It's going to come a point, Skip, and because the Patriots are not this dynamic offense, You run out of opportunities. You can't keep going 11 plays, 12 plays. They don't have big play capabilities. And now they're not running the football the way we saw them, Skip, run it the last half of last year and into the playoffs. They're not that team, Skip. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if y'all think Tom Brady is that same Tom Brady from 3 or 4 years ago, you're sadly mistaken.
You're sadly mistaken, but when is it my turn?
Take it
Is
away.
that it?
Oh,
thank you.
on that note.
Now the show starts. Last night, before America, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens exposed the many, many flaws that the New England Patriots already had. In fact, I believe they were the most flawed 8-0 team this league might have ever seen because we couldn't really see the flaws until last night. And I got to compliment Nick Boyle, the tight end for the Ravens, because he took a shot last week and he was right. He backed it up because he said that defense has not seen anything yet like our offense, and he was dead on right. And usually anybody on the opposition who dares to take a shot at the New England Patriots going into the game,
Eat those words.
he eats it.
Yeah.
Tom Brady makes him eat it, even though Tom Brady doesn't play, obviously, on defense.
Correct.
But somehow the whole Patriots rise up and say, watch this. It felt like he was the backup tight end, though he started most of their games. And he played well, and they played great. So what did we start seeing a week ago, even though it was dismissed as it was in a driving rainstorm at Foxborough? We saw Nick Chubb get off. He got loose.
He did.
Didn't he?
He did.
For 132 yards and 159 total.
Yeah.
Right? That
Yep.
the Browns ran for. That was the beginning of what was about to happen. And then what did we see last night in the first half? We saw the Baltimore Ravens run for 155 yards in the first half against that defense that was on historic pace.
And that shows you right there. When you couldn't stop Nick Chubb last week, even though y'all won that game, this team right here runs the football. They throw it sometimes though, but they run. It is a running team. If they seen what Nick Chubb did to you, y'all weren't having no luck. Because you got to deal with Lamar and Ingram at the same time. This defense finally go against an offense that gave them a fight. And they couldn't handle it. That's what it was. They just need to play somebody with a good offense and show the real defense. Yeah, the defense kind of solid, but when you go against a team that have a running quarterback and a good running back at the same time, of course it's going to be a tough night. Because what so many run plays they have is so different. They don't show you the same run plays. They switch it up at the same time. And they seen that, what you did against the Browns. You couldn't stop Nick Chubb last week. And that running team exploded that. And that's was the factor in that game. And that's how they won.
Right?
Well, we tried to warn them.
Not anymore. Not anymore. 155 yards, heading for 210 total rush yards. What? 210 total rush yards? They went, thanks large part to Lamar Jackson, who was phenomenal last night. They went 5 of 10 on third down and 1 of 1 on a key fourth down in the late in the third quarter. And that added up to what you referred to, 37 minutes of time of possession. So Brady only had the ball for 23 minutes. That's a good way to beat New England.
Right.
And what did we see right out of the box? First drive of the Baltimore Ravens, it gets down to a field goal because they finally buckled up and stopped them. And there's an offsides penalty, an encroachment penalty. I'm not sure who was at fault. They didn't really name him.
Yeah.
But you ever see a Belichick team do that?
It was.
You don't do that. Whoever it was, I figured he was going to get cut by halftime, right?
He might be on the waiver wire this afternoon.
He might be. And then we saw Julian Edelman do what he's often done, which is scratch it.
This is the Nest Hub from Google.
That's a good shot. And it can, oh, that's a keeper. This thing is really useful because, did I mention it shows you photos?
Claw for an extra couple of yards, and he didn't quite take the football along for the ride, and it bounces on the turf, and it was Baltimore's night, and it's one hop right up to Marlon Humphrey, and he is off to the races.
Marlon Humphrey's played his tail off.
Hey, he did. In fact, he's starting to rival Stephon Gilmore as the best cornerback,
because he's
right?
traveling.
And he took Edelman a lot. He said after the game, I did have some help on some plays. We doubled him some, but he made it hard on Julian.
And then when they started going to Sanu, he jumped over on Sanu.
Did he? Ooh, he was all over the field.
Yeah,
but that was, you gave him 4 points on the offsides on the field goal,
possession,
and then
correct.
you gave him 7 points on the Edelman play.
Score.
Okay, so that's 11 points that a Patriot team rarely gives to the opponent, especially on the road. If you give Baltimore 11 points, what's probably going to happen?
You're
probably going to lose that game at Baltimore, because we know Baltimore's a very good team and has been pretty good
Especially
at home.
at home.
Now, let's go, shall we, to the flaws on the Patriots offense. The Patriots cannot run the football, as opposed to the Baltimore Ravens. They just can't run it, and they haven't really been able to run it all year.
That's true.
So they grand totaled 74 yards last night, and can you tell me what Sony Michel did? Your man from University of Georgia, what did he do last night? He remained in a slump in the doghouse.
Skip, we only had 4 attempts.
4 carries for 18 yards, and one of those...
They're just showing you the Raiders put a good defensive plan against them. Because New England really ain't got a good offensive line like that. And it shows last night that they don't have one. They lost some big pieces on that line. And that run game wasn't going to get going on that side of that football. Because that line ain't all that good. You see, the defense got after Tom Brady early, and it slowed him down. They had a good defensive game plan against him. They know the line's not that good, so they're going to blitz. And then they front forward good. And it just shows last night that offense really ain't too much that good, even though they have Tom Brady as their quarterback. But if you put a good enough game plan against them, you can slow them down. You have to get at the Tom Brady early, and that's what the Ravens did.
Went for 10 yards, so do the math on the other 3. He is going nowhere. Slowly is Sony Michel, and it ended up being James White was their leading rusher with, 30-some yards?
9 for 38.
Okay, way to go. So that's the first problem for Tom Brady, and the second problem is, obviously, there's no Gronk, and obviously, there's no AB, and obviously, there's now no more Josh Gordon. And I thought there were reports on Friday that N'Keal Harry, their first-round pick, receiver out of Arizona, who I think is a flat-out stud, some reports that he was preparing to play last night.
Right.
Did not happen. He's been on IR for the first half of the year. So you don't even have N'Keal Harry last night, but you did have Mohamed Sanu. What am I seeing so far from Sanu? Well, I've not watched closely over the last couple of years. He's been very good, but now suddenly he's sort of going to be the featured receiver.
Right.
What did you see last night? I saw just another possession receiver with no real ability, no burst to separate, right? No burst.
He's a smaller Josh Gordon.
He looked like a smaller Josh Gordon. He looked like a less quick Julian Edelman, right?
Yeah.
And again, Tom had pretty good rapport with him, and he threw him a bunch of balls.
He did.
He caught a bunch of balls, but he never really...
That's another thing, like, why would you get rid of Josh Gordon, who could be a deep threat for you? I understand that you had success with possession wide receivers, but why do you give away Josh Gordon? Why do you let him go? He can help you on the deep passes. That's a way no one ain't gotta pay attention to your possession wide receivers. But when you release that deep threat and just keep your possession wide receivers, everyone goes scoop everyone up. Cause they know you don't have no deep threat. And y'all release Josh Gordon.
threatened or hurt
Yeah.
the Baltimore defense. Am I right?
Yeah.
So it's still pretty much Edelman or bust, with an occasional throw to Philip Dorsett or to James White. Brady threw one nice ball up
the rail.
the boundary. Okay, and so that's all you got. And now you remain without your left tackle, Isaiah Wynn, and without your center, James Andrews. And all of a sudden, they could not protect Brady, and he has nobody who can really threaten the defense. So what did Baltimore say? What did Wink Martindale say? You can't run it, so we are going to run after you, Tom Brady. We are going to come after you every which way but
pressure.
loose.
Yep.
We're coming from everywhere. Blitzing, Earl Thomas got in the blitz package. He was all over Tom Brady. And we know, especially at age 42, heck, at age 22, Tom Brady was not mobile, right?
No.
So he cannot escape that kind of pressure.
Right.
If you give him time, he'll pick you to pieces. And they did have one run through the third quarter
Right.
where they went no huddle.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it looked like they were starting to wear down and wear out the Baltimore defense and keep them off balance enough they couldn't substitute. And it was harder to throw in your blitz packages
Right.
because you just have to play your base defense, whatever it is, because
Right.
he's coming right after you.
Yeah.
And he got on a pretty good roll. So now we get to three crucial plays. Early fourth quarter, after he's on a good drive, he's completed passes of 4, 11, 3, and 9. So he's moving fairly well here. You can say it's a lot of dink and dunk, but that's pretty much his receiving core.
Okay.
So now it gets to be 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 48. And he throws maybe his worst ball of the night to Sanu. If we could see this, please. To Sanu, and it's behind him, and it's almost picked. It's almost picked.
It should have been picked.
Okay? So that's the first hint of uh-oh. And then Brady gets angry in a good way on the next play, and what does he do? He throws the ball of the night, his best pass of the night, right up the seam to Benjamin Watson, and hits him right in the hands, and he drops it. And Tom Brady is furious because that's a field goal right there. And I'm going to remind everybody at this point in the game, it's only 30-20. So if you catch that ball, it's going to be maybe 30-23.
I mean, Skip, he could have gave him a better ball.
I thought that was a great ball.
Skip, Marcus Peterson.
Oh, that's it. They hit him right there.
Skip, Marcus
Hit him
Peterson is
right there.
playing 2-by-1. Give him a better ball.
You can't throw it any better than
Yes,
that.
you can.
That's his best ball of the night. I'm sorry. That's big
If
time
that's his
Brady.
best ball of the night,
Okay.
that explains why you lost by 17.
Which led to, you could argue, his worst ball of the night. Tom Brady threw a mad ball.
Yeah.
He just got frustrated and sick and tired of no protection and nobody getting open. He said, watch this. I'm just going to fling this as far as I can, because he thought Sanu was going to break stronger to the end zone, and Sanu kind of pulled up, and so he just cuts loose in the face of another on rusher, and he throws a punt right to Earl Thomas. Just threw a punt right to Earl Thomas, and that is the ball game, ladies and gentlemen, because after that, here comes Lamar Jackson on a long, what was it, a 14-play drive for the touchdown?
Yeah.
Sure.
And the defense just could not deal with Lamar and company.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few